Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to another edition of Soul Sessions. Man, I like grooving to that intro song. That's
I
a
like that interest.
good. I'm Terry Lee, pure visionary psychic medium, and as you can see, I'm honored to have the lovely Miss Linda G with me
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
Ah,
Hi,
it
guys.
is a
Hi, Ron.
yeah, it's
Hi,
a
Lise.
great pleasure. And look at everybody in the chat. I'm going to mention people in the chat in just a minute, but just in case there's a slight chance that you've never heard of Linda G, I'm going to do like just a little tiny mini intro here. You're a highly recognized psychic medium, bringing through spirit and the other side for individual clients and spiritual events. She has read for thousands, including members of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Uh,
Academy Award winners, my friend.
All right. All right. And she has a massive following on YouTube, which you can check out a little bit later. I have information below the show. And, I love this part. Linda is a passionate advocate for love, compassion, peace, and humor. Yes. I think God has a great sense of humor, don't you?
Me too. Me too.
He created me. So there you go. Soul Sessions is a wonderful series that I'm doing right now. I'm so stoked about it. Session number 1 was with Robert Brunjes of the Akashic Records. If you haven't seen that one, go back and check it out. We talked about past lives, how we pick our lives, how our lives are entangled, how we make contracts with those before we come. I mean, it's great. It's just packed full of information, and he's an excellent, talented man who can read the Akashic records. And the next one, just recently last week, I had Kim Copeland, and we talked about transitions. She was a hospice nurse, and she has a great deal of experience. And not only that, but she's a very talented medium. Oh, the list is endless. So please go check that show out because it was really exciting. I mean, we had the most interesting questions and conversations, but we each of us got ideas that were like being fed to us, downloaded to us by the guides. So we came up with questions we had never thought of before, and it was a lot of fun. So check those out, and we're about to get into it with Linda G. And our issue today is soul conversations, because I thought of her immediately. I mean, I don't know anybody who has had more conversations with soul than Linda G.
Soul or the dead?
The people on the other side, those are souls. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They're souls, yeah.
Yeah.
A better medium than I am a psychic, I think.
Yes. Yes. And I'm excited to hear about that because you're definitely a talented psychic. You blow my mind away constantly, and everyone here, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Are you kidding?
I know, but I was always psychic, but when they enhanced this gift post cancer,
Mm-hmm,
they
mm-hmm.
told me to start the YouTube channel. I thought they were cray. They said, you need to help calm people down.
Mm-hmm.
People are very upset right now. And they said, however, if your ego gets involved, we will remove your gift.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of us feel that way. We're I mean, I do a ceremony before every reading and every show I do, and ask to be a conduit and a vessel, and just remain so. And
It's just the key to connecting to source is stepping outside yourself. You're the one that gets in the way.
That's true. And every one of us has to do a little bit of work. I mean,
oh yeah, because we're human. We can't help but start thinking,
When I first started reading, I had this little thing where if my mind started to get in the way, I would step out and, excuse me, just a minute. And I'd do this. And it was my windshield wiper. And my windshield wiper, it's like wiping my mind away.
That's an excellent idea.
It worked.
That's beautiful.
It worked. I think my guides gave it to me.
That's perfect. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, give it a shot. It really does work because it's kind of something physical that you do that says, okay, listen, it's all business now.
Right.
No funny stuff from my head. Right. So let me get to my notes here before we start. I do want to mention that we have some heavy duty prayers that need to go out for Kirsten of Third Eye Champagne. She is in need of our prayer. She's very ill. And after this show, a couple hours after with Mel, Linda G will have another show. And Linda and Mel are going to be doing readings. So that's a rare
Live.
thing.
Yeah.
Live.
Well,
And it's
not full readings, and we can't do
yeah,
everybody, but somebody
mini
hit us
readings.
with a question. We normally don't do personal readings, but we're
Right.
doing it. So hopefully some people will donate $1, $5 or whatever to
Bless your heart. Yeah.
Kirsten's
Yeah.
PayPal, which I'll post.
Mm-hmm. Great. And I definitely want to mention your daughter, Linda. She is in need of some prayers. We can
Yeah,
just send out to,
she's
yeah.
in a lot of pain, and the doctor's supposed to talk to her at 4 o'clock, but
Okay.
she woke up horrible stomach ache, and
Ah,
something's going on. So I've been talking to her all day.
right.
Poor kid.
Prayers for her. Prayers are
I
powerful.
did hear from Kirsten today, and
Yes.
she's not in the unit anymore, but she's in the regular unit. But there's still, this is the hard part, when they don't know what it is.
Yes.
Apparently, she has a whole bunch of different types of bacteria growing in that fluid, right?
Wow. Okay.
But
Yeah.
they don't know if it's a tumor. They're doing some sort of tumor check now.
Hmm.
And her heart rate's through the roof. They couldn't do surgery on her now if they wanted to.
Well, let's all pray for the most beneficial outcome for the doctors to be able to see
What
and
exactly is going on?
mhm,
She
yes.
got, her legs got so swollen she couldn't walk. And she's a tiny thing. And you know,
Mm.
she has that one kidney that she gave her other kidney to her father, who's deceased now.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Wow.
she's just, you know, she came to see me when I worked at Angel Heart for You. I was
Oh.
reading her and I said, "Girl, you can read just as good as me, if not better." She said, "You
Mhm.
think so?" I said, "Yeah." So then she started to work through Angel Heart as a reader.
Oh, I did not know that either.
And
Wow.
then she's the one who started YouTube
Mhm. Mhm.
and then invited me on her show. And I would not have done YouTube than the man in the moon.
Well, she's really good at it, and she was one of the very first mediums I watched on YouTube.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she,
so
you know, she knew how to set it up, the lights, you know, I'm like, if I have to go
mhm.
through all this, forget about it. That's why I
Yeah.
was surprised when the guide said, "You're going to do a YouTube channel." I was like, "What? I don't get up and brush my hair."
It's terrifying.
Yes. What made you start, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, well, wow, a number of things in my past led me to it. I kept trying to do other things and it just didn't work out. And then my dear son passed away
Oh, I'm sorry.
and he began to encourage me and tell me to do it. I got a great story about this too. Medium Kim was reading for me, right?
Ooh, medium.
And yeah, she was doing a reading for me. I was in one of her classes and she said, she was saying a bunch of stuff about me going forward and maybe doing the show. And then she goes, I don't talk like this. I don't know why I'm hearing this, but you're going to be a significant player. I was like, that's my son. That's
Wow.
exactly what he would say, a significant player. That's him. So
Wow.
he's been an incredible inspiration.
Well, he
Um,
proved to you beyond a reasonable doubt life goes on.
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And my blessed mother just passed away at 102 and a very spiritual woman. They're all with me. I feel them come and go all the time and they encourage me and I love reading for people. And
Me
I
too.
love feeling souls and we're going to talk about that in
Yeah,
just a
I'm
minute.
a better medium reader than I am a psychic reader.
Yeah, it's so amazing. Well, let's just dive into it. Oh, one more thing quickly. I don't know. The guys are telling me don't forget. Celine Dion has a terrible, terrible, and I like her I don't know her as a person, but I was never really into her
Beautiful
music or
voice.
anything. Yeah, great voice and everything. She has a horrible, horrible disease. It's very rare. We don't have to go into the details, but it's terrible. And I heard about it the other day and thought, I got to mention it. So get the people listening out to give her some prayers as well.
Right.
Got to be tough. So, and let's go over here. Look at all these people.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to scroll back up and get y'all. Emerald Buddha was here earlier. Hello, Emerald Buddha. Good to see you.
You were on earlier
Alize.
today?
Pardon?
You were on earlier today, or was she waiting here earlier?
She was waiting.
Oh, sometimes they wait for days. It seems.
Oh, bless her heart. Well, Lisa Niedermeyer, Ron. I love you, Ron. I
Ron's
know
great.
everything's going to be okay now. I can
Ron's
relax. Barb P. Samantha. Hi, Samantha. Good to see you. Seascape. Life is a mindset. Lorraine. I don't believe I've ever seen your name before. Welcome. Welcome. I love your name.
Thank you, Juno Sphere.
Yeah. Terry Suzuki. My soul sister. All right.
T.
As we
Bob
hear-
said she has stiff person syndrome. I kind of
Yes.
looked it up, and you don't really, it doesn't really kill you, which is good news.
Yeah, that's
So,
sounds horrible. It sounds
yeah.
absolutely horrible. Viviani, hello. Let's see. Am I missing anybody? If I have, I'm so sorry. Bless your hearts. And Equus 3333.
Oh, I know Equus. Yeah.
Hey, Jamie Johnson. All right. I'm just spinning. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful time out there in the chat. And I do want to say we will take your questions from the chat. We're not going to do medium readings. If you need a mediumship reading, as I mentioned earlier, Linda G will be reading with Mel shortly after this show today. Yeah. On Friday, I will be reading with Terry Suzuki and Sun Psychic Jean. So if you need a mediumship reading, we're happy to give it to you. Just try to catch Linda and Mel. And if you don't, then hop on over on Friday and get your reading on Friday. Okay. All right. Let's get down to it. I wanted to mention that.
Oh, Chris, thank you.
Oh,
Linda G, you had said to me that my spouse would be getting a job offer and pass the background check. Well, he starts this Monday. Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was one of those where I just answer as I go along.
Yeah.
I don't know why the guides are giving me like that, but they do.
It's important. The messages that need to get through will get through.
They get through.
Yeah. And the holidays I wanted to mention are one of the rare times that we all seem to have more of an intention to recognize the world as one. Souls. Exactly. We all feel more like souls on planet Earth, and that's exactly what we are. I love this quote. It was by B.C. Forbes. Christmas is a tonic for our souls. It moves us to think of others rather than ourselves, and it directs our thoughts into giving.
Wow.
So, isn't that a nice one? I love it.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I love Christmas. I've just been so.
Oh, by the way, I think this weekend is Hanukkah.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. All right. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Okay. So, Linda, I'm going to start off with a question.
Okay.
Have you ever read any soul?
Just don't ask my weight. That's it.
Oh, darn it. Okay.
I draw the line, right?
Let me get my pen. I'll cross that one off.
Have I ever what?
Have you ever read any soul in all of your readings, which are many, that was angry, mad, sad, or vengeful?
Yes.
Oh, let's hear about it.
Yeah. I mean, normally when you go over there, you're not connected to the ego self, so you don't carry all that. But there's some people post-death, immediate death. I once had a woman that her mother had a lot of money, and she came in and she was nervous because the mother wrote out the sister from the will, which was a bad thing to do. So the sister ended up being mad at her. And by the way, the sister ended up dying later, which was really sad.
Wow.
She didn't live to be old. But anyway, so this woman was bouncing in my room, bouncing everywhere. She was having a real hard time realizing she wasn't in control anymore. So there are some people that do have issues about not being in control. Some people can't accept the fact that they're dead.
Okay.
And then there's really good people that immediately connect, even suicides. That immediately connect to well-being.
I've read many. I've never read a mad or angry soul. I've been asked questions by the sitter who wants to know, like, what's the secret and what happened with this person, and tell me that. And normally they won't talk about it. They don't. If someone's still alive on planet Earth that it might affect, it seems to me like they're very loving and kind about not,
Exactly. Like when I used to
influencing.
do little mediumship groups with like
Yeah.
10 people, some of these are
Mhm.
strangers. I would tell after I read you can go home. They wouldn't go home. And I even do mediumship on my members.
Mhm.
And they're actually very careful about what they say. They're
Yeah.
not giving me, sometimes I see things like, whoa, but I'm told, keep that under the hat, keep that to
Okay.
yourself, because they don't
Interesting.
want it expressed in public.
All right. That's,
So it's
yeah.
interesting.
Most of the souls I read are very, very happy. I do have understood. And by the way, I've been working on studying Destiny of Souls,
I have
and
that book.
yeah, and try it in audio. You'll love it.
Okay.
Much easier. Much
Okay.
easier.
Isn't that
And
funny how audio works so much better?
it does. Well, especially that one because it's in conversations. He's in
Mhm.
conversations with people. So to me, it was easier to read or to
Right.
absorb.
Is he still
But
alive?
I don't know.
Okay.
Good question. I better find out.
Mm.
um, but anyway, you can go back and kind of study a lot of the souls that do have difficulties when they pass over, and sometimes they're in a stage of being healed by their guides, and their angels before they come to that full feeling of peace, love, and happiness. You're absolutely right. Some of them just aren't ready. Oh, T Barb says he's passed. Well,
Oh,
thank you, Michael. I'm just so blessed by his work and I'm really into it. I've got a couple other books I'm studying, and the soul world is fascinating. It
isn't it
really
fun?
is.
Hi, Kevin.
Okay, I got another one. Oh, I like this one.
What?
Do you believe the souls of our loved ones that have passed over, like our guides do, give us ideas or nudge us in a certain direction?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
Well, hello. I was standing in my bedroom when they told me I was going to do a YouTube video.
Yeah. Now, is that someone who's
I didn't think of that myself. I was like fighting. I said, I don't want to get up and brush my hair.
now was that someone who's passed over that that told you
Soul
that?
energy, or it's I don't know who it was. It's a male energy that talks in my right ear.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I call them my guides, but it's definitely a male.
Okay.
He said, Linda, you're going to do a YouTube channel. And I said,
Mhm.
what? I don't want to, I didn't even know how to do it. I didn't know you could monetize it. And I said, I don't want to get up and brush my hair. And he said, Linda, you will help calm people down.
Yeah, and you certainly have done that. That's
So
awesome.
that's how
Yep.
come I started. I
Yeah.
know Kirsten even said, you should start. I said, hell no. Because she had all the lights and she dolled up. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she
I
looks
don't want to have
great.
to doll up. Although I do makeup on my show. I yell out,
Wow.
makeup.
You're looking pretty good, girlfriend. Yeah, I feel like I have my guides and I know them and their voices, but occasionally, like my son or occasionally my mom will come in and say something to me and, encouraging and kind of nudging and you
Or
should do
warning.
this or yeah, they just no, I've never had anything like that. But with this soul series, both of them said that's a great idea. You should do that. I think the guides gave it to me, but people on the other side were like, yeah, do it.
Right.
So that's interesting. Great. I've got another one. Oh, I like this one too. I'm
What?
good. Other than Master Jesus, what soul has made the biggest influence on your life? And I'm going to say alive or past.
Alive is Eckhart Tolle,
Ah, okay.
who's an interpreter of the Tao, which the Tao is an ancient, very ancient.
Mm-hmm.
Even Wayne Dyer did a book about the Tao. If you want to kind of get it more in layman's term, because Eckhart Tolle, I remember trying to listen to him, The Power of Now, and falling
Yeah.
asleep every time.
I
But
agree.
I got the New Earth on audio, and when my dad was real sick, it was like an hour and a half each way to go see dad.
Yeah.
And I would listen, and it was like sometimes the inside of the car was slightly lit,
Oh,
because
wow.
the vibrational energy was so. Do you know if I turn that on to this day, it's like it's a different book. It's never
Right.
quite the
Yeah.
same thing. It's weird.
Yeah. I'll have to try him on audiobook. That's good. Excellent. That's wonderful. Okay.
Oh.
And so, is there another one that perhaps is on the other
Well, my
side?
parents were atheists, and I had a full encounter with Jesus when I was 8 years old.
Yes. Yes.
Full blown. I was on the other side. I could feel the beautiful vibrational energy, the colors. It sounds like angels, but I don't know if it's vibration. It's like this beautiful hum, and he was there, and I was scared to death. I
Yeah.
wish I wasn't. I wish I could have consumed all kinds of information, But it was weird because he was not the person that people in churches talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Never critical, never like these particular people that belong to
Yes.
these churches, and it's like
Yeah. No,
Jesus
he's
doesn't.
nothing but the love and the light.
Yeah, Jesus does. Jesus overseeing you, and Jesus will make sure for going towards somebody that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, really, you guys don't get it right. They don't take sides.
Right.
I
Yeah.
catch myself when I'm praying for my team to win too. I catch myself because I'm like, dear
Yeah.
God, and then I realize I can't put God in there because God
Yeah.
is on both sides. Like he loves both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, have you ever read for someone and in reading a soul, and maybe you can describe for us a little bit how it feels when you read a soul, how you get their personality or how you get their message. But have you ever read a soul for someone else that influenced your life in some way? Your life.
So I read somebody that's deceased.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I don't. Man is man, and there's some very high powered energies I've talked to on
Mm-hmm.
the other
Yes.
side, but when I do readings, it's more of a personal thing for the person I'm reading for.
Yes, of course.
And then
Yeah.
all this stuff will just start coming out of me, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm almost in a trance. A lot of healing takes place.
Yes, it does. And I think that we get healed. Our energy is healed and uplifted. I know mine is when I read for other people. And there's been some really interesting validations that have come through that I've been like really afraid to say, like, really? You want me to say that? And they're very insistent. This needs to come through. This has to come through. You have to say this. And every time that has happened, the other person recognizes it right away and it assures them that they're actually talking to someone on the
Well,
other side.
like I've told my clients this story. It'll be in my book too.
Yes, please.
At Angel Heart years ago, and a woman was there, and her mother. I could describe her mother. The mother was semi in the room with me. I could see her. I'm
Mm-hmm.
describing the mother. She said, "Yeah, Linda, that sounds like my mom." And then the lady talks in my ear and says, "Tell her I can't find my left foot." Well, I'm a retired nurse, so I'm thinking, she probably was a diabetic and lost her foot. So
Right.
I went to tell the lady, "Was your mom a diabetic?" And this lady, the deceased lady, said, "No. Tell her I can't find my left foot." So I just said it. Your mother wants me to tell you she can't find her left foot. And I was waiting for the lady to say, "I have no clue what you're talking about." And she said, "Linda, my mother died in a plane crash, and the only thing they found of her body was her left foot."
Wow. That is an amazing story and a perfect example. That
Yeah.
is really incredible. I love it. All right. Well, I'm going to jump over and we've got some wonderful things started here. I love this one. Terry Suzuki asks, I'm always interested in process, Linda. How do you prepare for a reading?
Well, this is the key, Terry. You can't really prepare for it. I don't do any kind of thing or remain quiet or anything. I just look at your name And then when I start to hear your voice, it just flows in.
Mhm.
The reason you can't get too tied up in how do I do this is because they want you dead quiet. They don't want you thinking.
Right.
You
Mhm.
allow them to come through. And what helps is as you read and you gain more confidence, the confidence really helps. Then you start trusting the messages like that lady. Tell her I can't find my left foot. It's just, I just have to say it. And let me tell you, sometimes I've had people that said, I have no clue what you're talking about. And I just, well, that's cool. I'm not going to get everybody. And then later they'll come back and say, I blah, blah, blah. There was an Uncle Raymond, blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So I trust it. The main thing, Terry, is to trust the ones who speak to you.
Great
With
advice.
that trust, they give you everything you need. You don't have to
Mhm.
do anything. It's almost like you're picking up the phone. It's time
Mhm.
to read. Okay, what is it you want me to tell
Beautiful. I love that. And I always tell people that I read, write it down. Write it down. If you don't get it or you don't understand it, write it down.
There you go.
And you'll find out later what it was about.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. I want to put this up because this is beautiful, Linda, and it's so true. Juno Sphere says, Linda G, when my home was at risk of an imminent flood from the
Arroyo.
Arroyo within a few feet of my home, I put on one of your YouTube videos and your presence calmed me down and no flood occurred. That's
Isn't that so
beautiful.
nice? Thank you,
That's
Juno.
great. It's amazing the effect we don't realize when you walk into the grocery store, when you take your dogs to the vet, when you go to the bank, the spirit, we are, luminous beings in these mortal bodies. And if we walk around with that knowledge inside, we notice things, we feel things, we project things, we actually raise the level. And my guides told me that each of us has a unique contribution to cosmic consciousness, the
Right.
cosmic consciousness of the universe, they
Right.
said. It's like, whoa, that's so amazing.
When I was up in Sedona, my guys
Mhm.
told me to go ahead and do that M5, that Dr.
Oh, yes.
Girlfriend, I had no clue. He speaks a whole different language. So
Yes.
I said, okay. So I had like a group of 50. And I said, okay, let's give it a try. And I called out for the other side to make themselves known. Then I told
Mhm.
everybody to take out your phone and start taking pictures. We got so many ships. We got an ET coming out of a tree that was total orange.
Whoa.
We were like high as a kite. We were so excited.
I'll
But
bet.
they did, but that's universal. You see what it would
Sure.
always look like? Well, when are you guys going to come down here? They don't have to come nowhere. They're always with us. They're just making
Right.
sure we don't blow ourselves up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. But if
That's
you'll
amazing.
notice,
And that took amazing faith for you to step out and do that.
I just did it. And well, my guides never set me wrong. Like they want me to do this book now, and I'm doing it. It may not take off very well, but it'll hit the right people it's supposed to hit.
That's right. The message that will get to the people who need to have it. And your book's going to sell great. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry about it, eh?
Don't worry about it.
Great. Okay. Well, I want to just take a minute and acknowledge a few people. Medium Kim is here.
Thank you.
Blessings to you, Medium Kim. And Herc 213. All right. Sharon Sipe, you're a rock. We thank you so much for your support and everything that you do. It's amazing. Okay. And I'm just backing up a little bit. Astrology happenings with Shana Say. Hey. Oh, she wants a message from her relationship with her guides. I suggest that you join us on Friday. And way we have more time to give to you on that. We're not doing those kind of readings today. Anybody have a question now? And I'm going to challenge you. Let's hear a question about souls. What are they up to? Do they influence your life on a daily basis? Do
Or even an
souls?
experience. I love to hear other people's experience.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's such an influential thing to be able to sense, and that's where meditation and raising your level of vibration comes in. If you're interested in these kind of things and you want to know who's out there and wanting to have a message for your life and perhaps guide you in a direction that you should go, that's how you do it. Raise that vibration and then be aware of all of the signs and things that come to you. You may not hear it in your ear. You may see something and go, and then you'll start to realize that is the message that you're going to get. So, Linda, let's have another question here. I'm going to take a deep breath. Guides, do you have anything you want to ask Linda right now?
Hi, Sheila.
What is the one thing in your book that you want to get across to the people who read it more than anything?
You'll never get it all right. You'll never get it all done. And you chose this time and place to be, this experience that we're all having. And the thing is about the YouTube, all these wonderful people that are part of this universal upgrade, if you know what I mean. There's beauty, yes. And everybody wants a piece of it. Everybody wants a piece of the omnipresent. Mm-hmm. And the only way you can get a piece of it, which is what I'll talk about in my book, is being quiet. Don't overthink things. Don't think, did I get this right? Did I get this right? Mm-hmm. Try your best to breathe 3 deep breaths a day and allow. And in that allowness, because that which is likened to itself is drawn. You can't create what you're not. If you're always having money problems and you're always thinking about the money problems and you're handing it to spirit and say, please help me with the money problems, but you're still worried, guess what? You're not going to create it. You have to. It's like when I had cancer.
Yes.
And I gave myself, I was begging for my life because my boys were still young and I had no breasts, no hair. And I said, please don't let me die because I still need to take care of my babies. And the man, he said, what are you doing? You know, there's no such thing as death. And in that moment, I actually felt embarrassed. Oh, yes, you're right. There is no such thing as death.
Yeah.
And then I just said, you know what? Like Christ, into thy hands I commence my spirit. If I'm supposed to die, I'll die. I hand it over to you. Whatever's supposed to be will be. Something happened to me in that moment, you guys. I don't even think I could put it in words.
Right.
I was walking the dog, and there was a rumble, and I thought that I was moving the dog to the side because I thought that they work in the what do you call the rangers. I thought a ranger because it was just a path I was on. There's no roads.
Okay.
And I thought the rangers must be coming through. So I moved the dog to the side, and then all of a sudden it wasn't a windy day. All of a sudden the top of the tree started like King Kong was coming through. And then there was this whoosh that came down and went right through me. And that dog was the type that say, come on, mommy, would not have went. The dog sat still.
Wow.
When that swoosh came through me, I heard thy will be done.
Oh, beautiful.
For 2 days. I was so high as a kite. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't get the smell of the earth off my hands, which now my friend said it's healing.
Wow.
And I thought if I touch a socket, I'd blow it out. 2 days. And then after that was when my abilities went through the roof.
That's amazing. I love that. Very powerful stuff.
But I gave it all over. I said, into thy hands. Because we as humans, we're trying to survive this crazy world. We need to get food. We need to take care of our families. But there's something with this, and then with the Eckhart after that, who I could totally understand. And understand that worrying and constantly being in a state of resistance does not bring you what you want.
Exactly.
You have to tell them, fair enough, what I know you're going to handle this. Let me hand this over. It's so nice being able to it's like they're your assistants.
Yes.
And you say, here you go, take this. Okay. And they
Surrender is such a huge part of it. It really is because it's trust. When you surrender, you trusting that you're in their loving arms and it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine.
they
Mm.
always want to help. They
Yes, of
always
course.
they want, but sometimes they can't come in and help you because you're too busy trying to figure it out.
Yes. Yeah.
When you crack that open and you say, I give in trust, I hand it over, and I know you're going to take care of me.
Yes.
And try not to go back into that fear mode. They do.
Mhm.
I'm here to
Mhm.
tell you, they do it, you guys.
Yes, they do. And speak it and acknowledge it. Say, I'm protected. I'm covered. This is going to come to me. This is going to make itself clear to me. And it works. It really does. That surrender and then those statements of faith and that stepping forward is I get chills. It's magical. Magic. I have a great one. Junosphere. Linda G. Do you have specific Native American guides that assist you with your readings?
I don't see a human form. What I see is cocoon-like energy in sort of an outline of a form. I do have an ET that talks to me. Not talk literally, they talk through the mind. But I am from Native. I know my mom took me to the tribe, and the medicine man gave the sign of the cross on my forehead and said that I had the third eye.
Yes.
But, my mom didn't believe in any of that. But I know that, the Native is very strong. I have my grandmother died before I was born, but apparently she had the gift. But there's such, how do I say this? My mom was always unhappy. Not only because she had rheumatoid arthritis, but because of the way they were treated. She married a white man, but yet she was always mad because she was put in an orphanage. Her mom died when she was 12 in a white nun-run Native American.
Oh, yes, that's horrible.
And so she knows what it's like to be prejudiced against.
Mm-hmm.
And she married my dad. She lived out here in California, but on my birth certificate, it says she's white and I'm white. She's not white at all.
Oh, bless her heart. She had a lot to overcome. She really did.
That heartbreak amongst all my tias, everybody in the family, there's such a heartbreak. Now, I've met a lot of my cousins in Oklahoma, and they are awake. But they all had issues before. We all had these mothers that were angry, mothers and fathers. Wow. A lot of alcoholism in the family.
During that period of time, there's no doubt, no doubt. And Linda, I've been watching the time for you, and it is 4:38 my time.
Yeah, I have to leave at 3:50.
Okay, so
or 4:50.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you've got time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. She needs to check on her daughter, everyone. We want to make sure that she
I've
gets.
got to. She laid down to take a nap, and of course, it's up to me to make sure. The doctor's going to talk to her at 4.
Okay. Well, we'll have our prayers out for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't see another question in the chat just yet. Oh.
Hi, Alice. Hi, Seascape.
Okay.
This is healing.
We'll put this one up because this is about a soul on the other side. We say,
oh my God. I must have had a past life with Ulysses S. Grant. I have to go see where he lived, where he's buried. I must have, because I have a connection to him. I can't get enough of him. Enough information.
Have you had a past life reading, Linda? Like from the Akashic Records?
No.
You should check out Robert Brunjes.
Somebody said
amazing.
Somebody did a reading for me and said I was Joan of Arc.
Oh, wow.
And I just really have a hard time with past life readings because sometimes I don't know if they're just making it up as they go along.
Well, sure.
How can you say for sure? There was a man who was a drunk in Laguna Beach that at 5 p.m. when everybody would go down to the bar and have a cocktail so they get to get the free, the free food they used to put out.
Sure.
He was always drunk. He was a psychic, and he looked at me one day and he said, "You were a Southern belle."
Wow.
He didn't know I was born in Georgia. He said, "You were a Southern belle in Georgia, and you pursued other women's husbands.
Oh,
You were quite the flirt." and someone shot me, and the buckshot and everything went all through me, and he saw me laying in a bed with a lot of medicine around, and I died a slow, awful death. Let me tell
Wow.
you, when he said that, I felt it
Yeah.
because I was born in Georgia. But
Yeah.
also, I had the weirdest dream before my sons were even born. I had
Yeah.
a dream being in front of a big mansion with the
Mm-hmm.
big posts, a southern thing. I had long red hair, reddish hair. I was wearing a nightgown, and I was looking up at the stars. And I remember kind of going on my back, looking up at the stars. And
Wow.
these two little boys opened the door and were calling for me to come in.
Oh, wow.
And I loved these boys. They were my brothers, I actually think. But you know what? I realized later those are my two sons that came to me.
Wow. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I think sometimes, and another time I had a dream about running as a
Mhm,
as a like a cowboy from an Indian, knowing my life was in
mhm,
danger and feeling
mhm.
the knife being plunged behind me.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think sometimes I have a hard time with people telling me what my past life was
Mhm.
because I don't know why. Yeah,
Wait,
you can't prove it,
no,
but
you
if you
can't.
have dreams about it and stuff.
But just like you mentioned, there are signs, and I know when I had my reading with Robert, he mentioned some things about being in Celtic and Druid, and I have Celtic crosses all over my house.
Oh, yeah. I need to
I
get
have Buddhas all over my house. I've always known deep down inside you're attracted to these things for a reason. They make me feel good. I have little, like to my right now, I have like a little altar built with my crystals and feathers. I collect feathers. Um, I'm really connected to the earth. There's some things that, you can be told and you can go, I connect to
yeah,
that, you
yeah.
know? And I'm actually going to go get another one. I just loved it. I thought it was very
Like
exciting.
all the rappers and stuff that are here on Earth this time, do you know they were cowboys? Most of them were cowboys.
Really? Now,
Yeah.
where did you hear that? I like that.
From a very great psychic who's now dead, but
Okay.
she said most of them got. But listen,
Okay. Snoop Dogg.
when
Snoop
when
Dogg
I
was a
read,
cowboy.
they were like wanted. When I read people, sometimes my guides will even say, the reason this is going on is because you had a past life with this person.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yes, of course. And that was one of my questions, and I won't go into it any further. Obviously, it's private. But one of my questions to Robert was, who in this lifetime am I in a connection with? In other words, like a karmic connection, where
Yeah.
we've got like some kind of a contract going with each other, and what is that all about? And that really helped me. It wasn't who I thought it would be, and it wasn't who I wanted it to be.
Well,
But
sometimes,
then
some
it's
people,
helpful.
who's my twin flame? It's not,
Yeah, no, it wasn't that.
it's
Yeah.
not always that. It's not always a male energy form. Although I did meet someone that should have been my life partner, but he's got
Mhm.
issues. But I felt it the minute I saw him. I couldn't feel my body.
Wow.
So I've loved him for 40 years,
Aw.
but it was never
Yeah.
to be. But
Yes.
Melissa says,
Those
Grant,
things
oh my
happen.
God, I can't get enough of him. I reading anything I can get a hold of. Apparently, he was actually out here where I used to read in Benicia. He was stationed.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow. All right. Sounds like a Jane. Thank you. Linda, have you experienced a soul who is planning to incarnate here on Earth? In other words, before pregnancy. Ooh, interesting.
No,
That's a little
most of
wild.
them wait lots of years. Sometimes it's a quick turnover.
Yeah,
I'll tell
sometimes
you
it
what,
is.
my daughter, before she was born, I saw exactly what she looked like. I saw
Wow.
her a couple of times. It was her.
Wow.
She looked exactly like the dream. So
Hmm. That's beautiful. Yeah, I don't think that is pretty interesting, actually, Jane. I don't think I have either.
I don't
But
think I have. Yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting concept, really. And that's another reason why I want to go back to Robert, because I understand that he does read future lives, which could be very
Oh, didn't
exciting.
Edgar Casey read Future Life
Oh,
Story?
yeah. That's one of the things I was fascinated with when I was a young girl, Edgar Casey.
Yeah.
I just thought it was amazing, and for someone my age, my friends were like, "What?" But I loved it. I gobbled up, and still to this day, everything I can get about him. What an amazing,
I read him
amazing
and Ruth
medium he was.
Montgomery. Ruth Montgomery just turned me on to everything.
Yeah. Wow. Don't you love it? I mean, those that have gone before and and now here we are. Isn't it amazing that we chose this point in time on planet Earth to come? What a time to
It's not
arrive.
easy. It's not
It's
easy.
it's not easy, but so necessary that we are here to talk about who we really are because our power is needed. People need to know who they really are, that we're
Well,
souls.
we got when in my day, I was a little girl, but John F. Kennedy died, Martin
Oh,
Luther
yeah.
King. We went through the bombing. We had to get ready for a nuclear attack. You had to live with
Yes.
that, and
Yes.
then what happens in the beginning of 2000? Um, the Twin Towers.
Twin Towers. Yeah, we've seen
And
a
then
lot.
now we have a pandemic. We have this person in office that was cray cray.
Yeah.
It's just one thing after the other. And now, if you look at some of these YouTube things, there are tons of space vehicles being pictured everywhere
Yes.
lately.
Yes. They're watching over us.
They're watching over us. Well,
Definitely had that.
Putin is beginning to set up his nukes pointing to the United States.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think he's all pissy and he knows he's getting ready to lose.
Yeah.
I think right now we're more on a cautionary. I think they're not going to tell us. But right now, I see the United States really keeping an eye on Putin.
Yes, I do too. I think the world is. The world is keeping an eye on Putin.
I mean,
And
bad move on his part if he does it, because it's going to be
oh,
terrible.
he's already ended. He's already
I
don't
know.
That's
I
the way I
know.
feel. He's just like he's committed himself to losing in the biggest way possible. And I have to say about the souls that chose to come and be in Ukraine and go through what they
Oh,
have and have the incredible message that they
exactly.
give to us, the rest of the world, that we can survive, we can overcome this. I mean,
Or in Iran, I read a woman from Iran today. Her and her husband live here. But they're even going to take a great football player in Iran and hang him
mhm.
for. And I guess they thought that was going to make everybody kowtow and say, "Oh, they're coming out worse."
No, eyes are being opened,
They're
hearts are
saying they
being
might as
opened.
well, if they
Yeah.
got to if their lives have to go, so be it.
It's time. And that's the thing. We got to remember too, all the other souls on this planet, like we did, chose to be here right now. We're all here to interact with each other, to help
But
each other.
and if there's anything I can tell you guys, because my time is almost up, but is to tell you that there is no such thing as death. Always remember that. Don't be afraid of death.
Correct.
Know
That's
that.
what this series is all about.
Yeah, know that it's just walking to the other side. The good news is about people working on their soul life and working with,
Yes.
putting out that good energy for others. Is
Mhm.
it vibrationally brings you higher and higher. You're
Yes.
not sitting in ego only worried about your celebrity. You're moving with there's some really good people I've met, famous people.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
there's some that are really stuck in ego. And you can't say
Yes.
anything, of course, but that's your connection. And
Mhm.
no one's ever better than anybody else.
That's correct. And we all have choices that we make and that we get the consequences for those choices. And we have an opportunity to learn and lessons that we can learn from. That's our free will. That's our choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And our souls are here to expand. Everything the creator creates expands. And that includes us.
That
So
includes,
that's why we're here.
if you look up my double wide JC Penney's, yeah, there's a lot of expanding going on.
You got room for expansion in there? That's always a smart thing.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, how close are you, honey? Do you need to go?
It's 3:50 now.
Okay.
So
Blessings to you.
Thank
Great
you.
thanks to you, everyone. I'm going to stick around for a few minutes, but I want to just tell Linda how much we all love her. We love you from the bottom of our heart. Uh, our blessings to your daughter. Please tell her we're all going to pray for her today.
Yeah.
And I thank you so much for this lovely conversation. This
It's
was a
been
lot of
wonderful.
fun.
Okay. You guys
Let's do
take
it
care.
again.
Yeah, it was wonderful meeting you. Thank you.
Bye to you, dear.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay. It's just me, everybody. I had a few more things that I wanted to bring up before I close out today. And that is, wow, wasn't that a cool show? She's an amazing, amazing woman. And thank the creator that she is with us now and able to share her messages with it because and very powerful stuff. I thank you all, every single one of you, for joining. It's when you're out there and your energy is with us, we can totally feel it. We totally can feel it. I want to make a short announcement, and I think I mentioned it before. On Friday the 16th, on my channel, I will be hosting Sun Psychic Jean and Terry Suzuki, and we are the Psychic Triad. We read really well together. And if you needed to have a reading today, please stop by. It's at 5 Eastern, 4 Central, 3 Mountain, and 2 Pacific. And that is this Friday. And that will be our pre-holiday show. And we'll be doing holiday readings for you. And it's always our pleasure. I always want to mention, too, that I've opened up some new spots for private readings. And if you're interested, can give you an hour reading, or if you want to give a reading as a gift, all you have to do is go ahead and get the reading, and then in the notes say this is a gift, and I'll connect with you and we'll make it work out. Kind of fun. All right, everybody. I just want to thank you all for liking and subscribing and being a part of my support for this past year. Wow, what a ride. What an amazing ride. And all the people that I got to read for and meet and converse with, all the support that everyone gives me, I am eternally grateful. And I love you all so much. So I'm going to say goodbye now, too. And I say it because I always do. You are loved beyond measure. Have a wonderful evening and blessings to you all. Thank you.